Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Off Bergman. Welcome back to the channel. We made it into November, and well, we're gonna spend the winter working on booze, either here at the winery or down at the brewery. I was just checking things out, figuring out where we left things at. Got a little organic waste in there. We have fermented grapes here. Let's turn that on. Yep. And that's going to move product over to here, where we're going to need some barrels to transfer that product. All right. Let's go to the shop. What's up, Tukey? Wine production. Let's buy 3 of those, and then we need let's figure out where it is. Here it is. Pallet jack. All right, well, while we're here, let's do some more housekeeping. Why can't I pick that up? Well, we didn't stream Monday. We had a map. And while I got that map video done, really, I wasn't overly motivated to get much more done that night. What's up, Capitalista? Life on the busy farm. Always stuff to do. Chucky, did you figure out your project motor racing woes with the controller? I heard some mods drop today. Over there, some liveries, a couple others. Maybe the most controversial was GT3 cars using F1 engines. Wow. Let's see if that works. There we go. There's an interesting thing going on if you have like a bucket close to a fill trigger. It'll cause the R to not work on other things. Let's feed our pig slop. How's everyone's new year going? All right, while our potatoes are steaming, get our chicks. Well, that's filling. Get another crate of those. There. Yes, they're filled up on manure. Right. That's filling up. Let's check our geese. Where are we at with our geeses? I got 10 13-month-old geese. Is our butcher done? Our butcher's not done. Dang, man, what do you need? I guess he's almost done. Hello from Romania. What is up, sir? Or ma'am? Bigger eggs. And, yeah. Let's roll. Got a question for you. But I'll probably ask that after the intro. All right. Let's go down here and check out our cows. Check out our dairy. Check out our calves. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Bergmann. Welcome back to the channel. Not streamed in, well, since last year, quite literally. I was taking a look at the game save. So the last time we were in here was December 29th. Doing a little farm work here, just trying to catch up and stay ahead. Of course, with our manual milking of cows, we don't want to get too far behind. But we're going to be working through winter and seeing how much money we can make by making sure our wine is moving through the process, and also keeping our brewery running. What's up, Ethan? You'll be able to find this map for PC linked in the description. It's all about manual operations. Like milking a cow. Alright, we need to do these. Now, I'll mention this again because some folks have commented that their milk jugs don't go into the silo. As you can see, that one did. What I've established is milk jugs that are not in the right orientation don't go in the silo. This is definitely not a mod hub map. So jugs have to be in the right orientation to go in. This map has several things that would not be permitted on the mod hub, like a couple butchers, beer production, actual wine production, to name a few things. Let's turn that off. We got lots of cheese. But like I said, you can find it in the description. Give me milk. Let's convert this to cream. And then I really need to see if we still have field work to do. There we go. Turn on a separator, and this is going to take our milk and make cream and low-fat milk. Then we're going to take said cream over here to our butter production. Where we're going to make butter. All right. That running. Cows still have food. Our calves here. That one still has milk. That one still has milk. I've not figured out where my sheeps. Where the milk comes from my sheeps. I thought it spawned in here, but all right, what do we got? We got weeds. Weeds in our wheat. We need to fertilize our wheat. All right. But before we do that, I don't know if our barrels will fit in there. Let's grab our flatbed here. Oh, I was setting up to do something. I was setting up to make big bags of wheat, wasn't I? There we go. Hello, dude. Go the right direction. Right. Okay, enter, turn on pallet creation. Fill up our hopper, which I think will be 10,000, which will make 5 big bags. Plus, of course, the amount that goes and stays in the auger. There you go. So if the auger is too close, it doesn't fill. All right. Now let's see if this is too heavy. I guess you don't take big bags, huh? That's fine. I'll put one over in the chicken area. We need one there anyway. You'd think this bag was a little heavy. There. Why we're doing this. This video is brought to you by Gaming with Dark Fang and Brimlet. Thank you for being farm barons. We'll just put our big bags down here. What's up, Rez? Yeah, it will be brew time here in a moment. You know, life on Hoff Bergman is never done. Hope by the Ruin 2025. I mean, if that's the map you like. I do have a question. I was going to ask a question right before the intro, and then I said I was waiting. So my question is, has anyone had issues with game stability or game crashing since the DLC? There's been some partners mention that they've had issues with game crashing, game stability. but I haven't seen any issue, and I've probably been on more maps than anyone else. I've probably checked out at least 30 maps since Highlands Fishing came out. Issues where their GPU goes to 100% and then the game crashes. I have to say, just like everything else, my first thought goes to mod problem. There, we'll store a spare chicken feed big bags in there. How about the mod to hide the NPCs, NPC hider? Where have you been my whole life, I must say? Let's back this thing out of the way. More big bags. Keep the bags low, that way this thing doesn't get overweight. Watch out for those cars. What's up on the 3D printer front? I guess we could use these big bags also over at the flour mill or at the bakery. Where are we at with that? Oh, I had that woman slap out all those loaves. I never came back. Okay, hold on. Let's get this taken care of. Hey, lady. Pat me out some. I think you're supposed to put the liquids in first, but hey, whatever. Make some dough. Make some loaves. And turn the oven on. All right. Okay, this will be the last big bag we grab for now. Peter, you did not miss happy hour. We're just trying to get our work before play. Yeah, it was warm today. I opened up the office window, stuck the window fan in. We are going to be picking up some barrels and a pallet jack for the brewery. Then we're going to run over to, or not for the winery. Then we're going to run over to the brewery. Can I pick this up? I really should be able to pick that up. All right, here we go. They are, but I really don't know any other way to get a pallet jack from the shop. To the to the brewery. What's up, David? Yeah, we didn't stream. Well, we didn't do a New Year's stream. I really wasn't feeling like it. And then we didn't stream Monday because the map came out. So here we are today. Pays to be in the lead, huh? And you didn't feel guilty at all, right? Alright, where are we at? We have... Jeez, we have 10,000 lettries of beer. Let's turn this on. Alright, we're gonna need to go buy beer pallets. Do I have any over here? Yeah, there is that. All right, let's head up to the brewery. Or the winery. Whoa. I think it's a nice mix of trees, right? So oftentimes on a map you get the same type of tree all clumped together. You don't get what you feel like a more natural variety of things. Well, Sniper, if you have access to a VPN, then you can start downloading part 1, change VPN servers, download part 2, etc. If you have access to multiple internet connections, for example, your home internet connection, and let's say your data connection on a cell phone, then you could download part 1 off of one PC, part 2 off your cell phone. Not that I would ever support giving money to Rapid, what is it, Rapid Host, anything but Rapid. You can always pay money to the host. Nope, don't do that. Now, what I would support if you wanted to support the map author, he has a support tier, and the support tier has access to a different download. But that's all up to you. If you want to give a free will donation to the map author, you can of course do that. But to be honest, in my opinion, the amount of time it takes to we established I have to come at this from the side. The amount of time it takes to download the map is, in my opinion, 100% worth it. Well, you can support the author. He does have a support tier over at his website, which is going to be lsfarmingmods.com. What do I forget? Come on. There we go. There we go. Let's fill up our barrel of grape juice. All right, look, dude. Yeah, see, something's janky here. Oh, I know. It's only been a long time. I had to keep jacking up. We're going to take this down to our fermenting cellar. Oh, it's quick clipping through the wall. Oh, there we go. Yep, we unloaded. Let's turn on the aging process. And that's only going to take forever. Speaking from experience there, Peter, it was a skill issue. This will probably work a lot better now. Yeah, I just need to move the mouse up a lot. More or less, I was just trying to pump it up once and done. Need to pump it up a lot. Okay. It's a ghost. All right, we'll come back to that. Because it's not like we're going to have to do that over several months. We're only to make 450 liters worth of wine every month. So our 6,000 liters worth of wine is like a year's production. So we need to turn around here. I want to go back to the pub. Yeah, never want to support rapid share. All right, give me fine, just give me 4 then. Let me go over here. Let's see. Jeez, dude, I'm stuck. Let me out of this place. Well, I mean, I've got a playlist with 30-some plus videos. Just outlining how things work on this version. It depends on the mod. There are going to be mods that are going to conflict. There's going to be plenty of mods that don't have issues. In general, any mod that modifies pallets behavior, like liftable pallets, is not going to work. All right, let's get 4 more. Like the extended animals mod, that might conflict because we have rabbits and cats, for example. Works fine with precision farming. Should work fine with straw harvest now. I mean, yeah, it's fine with FS25. That's what we're running. But I should have access to the Bergmann playlist down in the description. I maintain separate mod folders. I've been doing that since FS17. But since FS19, I really haven't been a heavy mod user. Alright, we need to take this over the brewery. But I also need to get started with some field work. Jeez, what bushes? Well, thank you, Sniper Wolf. Thank you for the donation. The super shot. 3. These here. Tell you what, is the flu rampant where you all are? It is like crazy here. Kids just went back to school. All right, that's rolling. There goes our bottles in. $160 liters. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of pallets. All right, we need a sprayer. We don't need that. Well, we'll get that just for the sake of having counterbalance. Yeah, my youngest went back to school today. My oldest technically went back to school today. She's student teaching now. So they're both in the schools. Great. I told them both, avoid anyone that looks wrong, looks off. Just avoid them. Wash your hands like constantly. If someone's sneezing, coughing, or has a runny nose, like, yeah. Try not to touch anything they're touching. Herbicide. I heard the flu shot was like 30% effective. That's why I don't get it. Okay, that's in wheat. Those are in wheat. What's up, Delilah? Yeah, I will say the one time I did get the flu shot, I've never been sicker than right after getting that shot. And I can tell you, after I was forced to get the COVID shot, that was a horrid, absolutely horrid, like 3 days after. Terrible. Oh, I guess I didn't leave anything up. Yeah, I do. I've got the... Not that this is fast or anything. I thought this had grape juice in it. And of course, we can always take the elevator. Up to the second level, where we are going to take our wine and bottle it. Or we could bottle grape juice here. Alright, well, I'll transport more of this another day. Like I said, the way this works, 480 cycles a month. One cycle is 1 unit, so 480 liters of wine a month. That's going to take a while. Now let's see. Weeds. Our grass has no weeds. Okay. Oh, jeez. You know, it's like food items should be exempt from tariffs. Seriously. Yeah, I mean it's counterintuitive, because it's like their thought process is our competitive products are going to go up so we can make our products go up. But one would think, it'd be like our competitors' prices are going to go up. We should keep our prices close to the same, and then we'll be way underpriced. But sometimes the greed of businesses overwhelms logic. They're like, "Oh, we could just make more money." So CES is going on. I've watched a little bit of CS coverage, not a lot, with the whole AI craze, which I think is the biggest load of BS. Everything is turned on its head. And, well, there's not much joy for the consumer these days, it seems like. I heard a little bit of commentary on the Intel presentation. Of course, AMD's got some pretty good stuff. I'm really happy with the new mini machine that I got for the home office. And Actually took it on the road when I went to the Sim Gaming Expo. Didn't end up using it, which is frustrating because I ended up losing all my video footage from that show thanks to airport security totally screwing up my phone's storage. I completely blame airport x-rays because my phone was fine up until I went through the x-ray machine on the way out of town. And at the Sim Gaming Expo, I had issues unlocking my phone, but I finally got it unlocked. I unlocked with a pattern. I've unlocked with a pattern for as long as I've had that phone. And then on the way back from the Sim Gaming Expo, I think something got corrupted because I could no longer unlock the phone with the pattern that I always use. It said, nope, sorry, that pattern's wrong. And I'm like, oh no, that pattern's quite right. It said, oh no, that pattern's wrong. Well, I tried to restore or unlock the phone remotely via the Android resources. And guess what you have to do to unlock the phone remotely? You have to enter the pattern online. But the phone had already backed up the corrupted pattern. So that didn't work. The only recourse was a complete data wipe of the phone, which meant all the storage on it was lost. That wasn't backed up. But at any rate, that little mini PC would allow me to not only play the game and record, if I had to, but also do some video editing through Premiere. Why won't you? There we go. Ingest pallets, people. Ingest pallets. There we go. Launch our bottles. If you've never seen a bottle operation go, it's pretty cool. Yeah, we're not going to see normal RAM prices for years. Unless the AI bubble blows. Because, I mean, you can't build data centers when you can't provide energy for them. That don't make much sense. It's basically, I think, the equivalent of like a 4070 or 4060. I'll put a link to it here in a minute. It ain't cheap. I need hops. I need hops, boy. I need hops, man. Hop me up. All right. Give me some hops. Yeah, I just hook it up to the hotel TV. I also have some X-Real glasses that have displays in them. that hook up the USB-C, and I can see through them, so I could like play the game on the hotel TV, have these glasses on, and use that as a second display and monitor like OBS and stuff. So then suddenly I have two displays. Beer production, hops. Let's buy 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, like, I've got an older version of those. And I'm trying to strip all the Google junk off this browser URL. That's the mini PC I'm talking about. Like I said, it ain't cheap, and it's really marketed as like an AI PC. I've not really seen a lot of CES coverage. That is definitely not the PC I test and say it's a low-end machine. I'll show you. I'll send you a link to what I test when I say how a map runs on low-end PCs. I think you'll get a kick out of it. So that Aya Neo system is what I use for my low-end machine testing of maps. I think it runs on like 65 watts. It's supposed to look like a little NES. They make a bunch of, they make too many products. Yeah, it's like they launch a product, like using crowdfunding or whatever, and then before that product's even really out the door, they launch another product that's similar, and you know they still have issues delivering the first product they launched, right? But I was one of the first. I was one of the early batches for that little mini. So I've had mine for. It was either the first round of deliveries or the second. Salad trigger. And while we're here, let's just have fun. We'll make some kegs too. Why not? We got a lot. Yeah, I think the CEO guy or whatever that company, I think is a good guy that comes up with ideas. He just needs to dial back his number of ideas. Like, for example, their first Mini looks like an old school Mac. And, yeah, where the screen was, it's just black plastic. So, I've got one of those. And that one I ordered a couple months before I ordered the other one I have that I linked. And I got the other one I got the newer one first because I was, you know, so many batches back on the AM01. Well, before they even ship mine, they revised the AM101's product and they start shipping a different CPU with it, like a newer gen CPU. And as someone who put an order in and has been waiting for months, you're kind of like, I would like to get a free upgrade to the new CPU you're selling now. Or then, like a couple months after I got mine, they shipped a variant that instead of having the black, it's got a screen. It's like, come on. Why don't you maybe offer to the people who got the one, you want a screen? You know, you can, here's a good deal to buy the screen and mod it in. But no, all it does is like, well, I'll just wait and see if they come up with something better. And then you're just always waiting to see what else they come up with. At some point, it's going to be better than what they got now. But the AM01 I use as a little Linux box. Whoa, you guys escaped. The farm show is next month. It's basically during, what am I over here for? Oh. It's the weekend before, well, it is the weekend of Valentine's Day. February 14th, sorry. For non-Americans, that's February 14th. Lover's Day. What? I thought I emptied those out. All right. Although I'm not sure if I'm going. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go. So, I looked up yesterday. I have until February 8th to cancel the house without penalty. So, that's basically the go or no go time frame. Why won't you let me fill? Dallas, what is the name of the stream? There we go. I guess I was in the wrong spot. Yeah. I'll explain it in the Discord at some point. While we're here, oh look, our bread's done. Let's just run over here to the farm shop. And we'll start another batch of loaves. Our bread over here. Take our wood chips. Turn on our oven. Fill up our pan with dough. Dump it on the table. Get our lady making more of that. Okay. Totally unrealistic. Just fling the cheese in. Oh man. 70 kilograms of cheese. Turn our butter back on. We'll move our low-fat milk. Yeah, that looks about right. Colored water. How's that go? Applying away. All right, we'll let that run. Right. Ah, you already been doing tours? All right, let's sell our low-fat milk. For that, we got to go to the dairy in town to the north. Raz, that's because those of us in the higher ed industry, we call it the demographic cliff. We are in the midst of the demographic cliff. Less people made babies 18 years ago. Less people made babies for about 5 or so, maybe even longer years. I don't know the exact duration of this cliff, but there was a clear indication from quite a while back that the number of college-age kids was going to have a stark decline starting in the early to mid 2020s. And, well, then COVID hit just before that, which really did not help because, you know, enrollment went down. And in most places, enrollment hasn't gotten back to pre-COVID levels. And then the demographic cliff comes, where there's just less college-age students to go around. So every college-age student is a prized commodity. So higher ed is in a struggle right now because there's less students to go around. Enrollment's still down in general. You can only raise tuition so much, yet things cost substantially more. So you'll see more and more in the news about certain institutions just closing shop, failing to be able to continue operations, or institutions merging, small schools merging together. Now, typically state schools are sheltered a bit more from this, but they're not exempt from it. And I was talking with a guy earlier today about it. In the post-COVID world, there's also more jobs out there that just don't need any sort of real education. There are plenty of folks out there who are making pretty good money driving people around or picking up people's stuff, doing it on their own schedule. All right. So yeah, if they can lock you in their thought process is if they get you an offer first, then maybe you'll commit to them. This is how we unload the bus. Well, you don't want any more of my cheese. Well, I'll just leave them here. But you can see we have our butter here. Bread. Eggs, I think, show up over here. All right. Let's go sell our little chicks. So as you're knowing part of the story there can maybe allow you to position yourself. Are you serious? To take said advantage of this interesting time. Hey, Kate, what are you going to give me for these chicks? How much money you want to give me? $256 for 72 little chickens. It's far more than I got for just the eggs. Well, at some point, Raz, they might be calling up saying, hey, you know, we sent you an offer and we haven't heard back. That's how you know there is still interest on their side, right? Because if the school has no interest in you, they're never going to call you. They're going to send you a letter and say, you know, if they take it, they take it. If not, oh well. Well, as soon as someone calls you, says, hey, yeah, we were just wanting to make sure you got that letter. If you had any questions, right? Then you whip out the, well, you know, actually, yeah. Got this other offer from this other place, like they want to offer me like 3 times as much. So, what's up with that? Why should I pick you over this other one that is actually going to pay my kid to go to college in? Oh, oh, then the story might change. Be like, we don't necessarily need you. But from what I understand, you very much need me. Oh, I must have set the kegs to auto sell. The village shop A. Well, you got one good offer, right? It just maybe isn't his desired location. In the end, you know, you want to go to the place that has the best programs for what he's looking for. But if you can play them against each other to sweeten the deal, play the game and play it well. There we go, $3,500 or so in alcohol. Our wine. Let's advance a day. Go up there and see if we can bottle something. $10 a.m. What's the big boy? I mean, like the big Roy? Or the big Bud? The big stud? Where we have 434 liters of wine. we go. Now we now have Ween, aka wine. Like, well, that's filling. I really should go over here and fill up. More here. Well, here's good luck. Good luck on the hunt. I really don't understand this process, right? We go with regular grapes, so we get clean grapes and waste. All right, that's fine. Then we clean our grapes to ferment. We ferment our grapes, and then we make grape juice out of fermented grapes. Bye. All right. We want to do crates or pallets? I don't know how much wine it shows up in a pallet. I guess I could do a crate too. Watch me not have enough. Alright, we need to fertilize this. Yeah, it would be nice if I could just unload. Oh, look. Let's just put it back in the silo. Isn't that nice? Well, we now have $60,000. Because we sold all our stuff. Do you like the individual sized portions? Grocery store's got, like, you know, a little 4-pack of little wine juice boxes. Oh, wait. What happened there? There we go. Well, that's because it's Tennessee whiskey, Kentucky bourbon, right? Oh, here we have some crates. Hello, open the door. Go. Now, this is storage over here. So technically, we could store them here. But what fun is that? I don't want that. I want my Bergmann transporter. Wheel of Gone, Lagoon. Yeah, it's not the fastest mobile. It'd be nice if there was a variant of this that was this mystery machine. Oh, shoot. It's stuck in a tree. Fine wine, aged 1 month. Oh! The Andy's supermarket is paying good. Let's head over there, and that's where we'll call it a night. We gotta go over to the other town. Whoa, dude. Well, Bill's Bub, there's always the replay. Yeah, that's back here. Back into the loading dock. Sell our goods. 1,200 bucks for some wine. And folks, that is where we're gonna call it for a night. Thanks for coming out, watching, hanging out with me here on the Hoff Bergman. As we do kind of idle things, making some side money. Keep an eye on the mod hub. Now that Giants is back, mods are starting to drop with regularity again. We'll be putting up map videos once we get more maps releasing. And if you're into racing, sim racing, racing games, etc., do check out our secondary channel, or my secondary channel, where we are currently working through a gameplay of Project Motor Racing. That second channel is FK's Funhouse. And, well, explanation FK's Funhouse in chat should give you a link. Until next time, happy farming.